In this lecture, we are going to learn about the Python modules. Modules are files containing Python code that define functions, classes, and variables that can be used in other Python programs. Modules provide a way to organize and reuse code, making it easier to manage and maintain large projects. Python comes with a standard library that includes a wide range of modules for various tasks, and you can also create your own custom modules. To use a module in your Python program, you need to import it. Now, there are different ways to import modules, depending on how you want to use them. Let's take a look at some examples. The given code demonstrates the usage of the math module in Python. The math module provides various mathematical functions and constants for performing mathematical operations. To begin, we import the math module using the import statement, which allows us to access the functions and variables provided by the module. In the code, print math.py outputs the value of the mathematical constant pi. The math.py statement accesses the variable pi from the math module, which represents the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. Print math.square-root-25. This calculates the square root of 25 using the square root function from the math module. The math square root statement takes the argument 25 and returns its square root, which is then printed. When you run this code, it will output 3.14 and 5. Now let's also try to import specific items from a module. First, we import two functions, randint and choice, from the random module. The random module is a built-in module in Python that provides functions for generating random numbers and making random selections. The randint function generates a random integer between the two specified numbers. In this case, randint 1, 10 generates a random integer between 1 and 10, both inclusive. We use the print function to display the result of randint 1, 10 on the console. So a random number between 1 and 10 will be printed each time you run the code. The choice function selects a random element from a list. In this example, choice, apple, banana, orange, randomly selects one of the fruits, apple, banana, or orange. Again, we use the print function to display the result of choice, apple, banana, orange on the console. So a random fruit from the list will be printed each time you run the code. To summarize, this code demonstrates how to generate random numbers using randint and make random selections from a list using choice. It showcases the basic usage of these functions from the random module in Python. Finally, let's try to create modules in Python. A module is a file that contains Python code. A module can define functions, classes, and variables. To understand the concept of Python modules, first we have to define some functions and save it into a .py file. Let's define three functions, namely addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and save it into a file called calculation.py. Now we have defined three functions in a file called calculation.py. So the basic idea of using modules is to reuse the functions made by us again and again for various different projects. Now, let us check how to use these modules in a different Python file. We can import a module in Python using the import keyword. For our already defined module calculation, we can import it using import calculation. This imports the module but not the function defined inside it. Using the module name, we can access the function using the dot operator. Let's try out the functions that we define in the calculation module. Calculation.addition 8, 10. Calculation.subtraction 10, 4. Calculation.multiplication 6, 5. When we execute this code, we get the output as 18, 6, and 30 respectively. So this is how Python module helps us to achieve code reusability in Python. And with this, we have come to the end of this section where we learned about functions in Python.